Oliver sat frozen at the kitchen table, staring at the cold pasta I'd put in front of him an hour ago. His fork hadn't moved. The sauce had congealed into an orange film across the plate. "You're gonna sit there until you finish it," I said, my voice tight with frustration. "Do you know how much food we waste because of you?" He didn't answer, just kept staring, his hands pressed flat against his thighs under the table. That's when I lost it. I shouted things I can't take back. About waste. About being difficult. About making everything harder than it needed to be. He picked up the fork with shaking hands and started eating. 3 bites in, he threw up all over himself. The vomit splashed across his shirt. The chair pooled on the floor beneath him. I grabbed paper towels and cleaned the floor. Just the floor. I told him to go change his clothes himself. He walked upstairs alone, still covered in it. That was 8 months ago. He hasn't let me touch him since. My son Ethan was diagnosed with Asperger's when he was 7. Academically, he's exceptional. He reads books meant for high schoolers, solves complex math problems in his head, remembers every fact he's ever learned. But socially, he's different. Not cruel, not aggressive, just off in ways that make other people uncomfortable. When he was 9, he became obsessed with ceiling fans. He'd spend entire dinners comparing blade counts and motor speeds between different brands. If you tried changing the subject, he'd wait patiently, then steer it right back to Hunter versus Hampton Bay. Back then, he went to a specialized school. Smaller classes. Teachers trained in neurodevelopmental differences. It wasn't perfect, but it worked. He didn't have close friends, but he wasn't miserable either. Then middle school arrived. My wife Amanda pushed hard for him to attend a mainstream private school. He can't stay in a bubble forever, she insisted. He needs to learn how the real world works. I had reservations. She promised it would be different now that kids were older, more emotionally mature. She was wrong. From the first month, everything fell apart. Ethan came home with stories about eating lunch alone in the corner of the cafeteria. Kids rolling their eyes when he sat near them. Entire groups going silent when he tried joining their conversations. He couldn't understand why nobody wanted to be around him. My wife blamed the other kids. They just don't understand how special he is, she'd say. She's been protecting him like this for years, making excuses, never pushing him to adapt. But I've watched how he interacts. He talks to people, not with them. If something strikes him as funny, he'll repeat it 15 times, even after everyone has stopped laughing. Right now, he's obsessed with a preschool show called Bluey. He watches it every single day, talks about it to 7th graders. He once told my brother at a family cookout that he preferred a children's movie about talking animals to most adult films because the color palette was more thoughtfully designed. 3 weeks ago, he came home in tears. Kids had cornered him after gym class, called him names I won't repeat, told him he was creeping everyone out. Amanda went into full protective mode, called the school, demanded meetings. We ended up sitting in a conference room with the vice principal and 3 of his teachers. What they told us wasn't surprising, at least not to me. His English teacher said he's academically outstanding, but persistently disruptive to other students. Not intentionally, just distracting. He'll randomly ask classmates questions like whether Shakespeare would have enjoyed video games. Another teacher mentioned that he makes exaggerated facial expressions at random students in hallways, then seems genuinely confused when they react negatively. They tried being diplomatic, but the message came through clearly. He doesn't fit in. He stands out in ways that make middle schoolers deeply uncomfortable, and anyone who remembers being 12 knows exactly how brutal that age can be. My wife refuses to hear it. Every time I suggest that Ethan needs to work on blending in better, she shuts me down. He shouldn't have to change who he is, but we don't live in some ideal world. Reality doesn't accommodate people who are obsessed with preschool cartoons at age 12. Everything exploded last week. Ethan came home completely devastated, refused to eat dinner. I found him sobbing in the living room with Amanda, sitting next to him, rubbing his back. "Why does everyone hate me?" he asked through tears. "What did I do wrong?" Something inside me snapped. "Because you're annoying, Ethan." Complete silence. Amanda's face went pale. Ethan looked at me like I'd slapped him. I kept going. "Your teacher said it in your report. You constantly talk about things nobody else cares about. You make weird faces at people. You cover your ears and run away when the bell rings."